Hi there, Year 8s. This is the second part of the notes section for the exercise 1H to do with BODMAS. One thing to note in your notes here, when two letters or a letter and a number are written next to each other, this means, so for example, 3A or 2AB, 3A actually means 3 times A. It's 3 groups of A. And then when you write 2AB, what that actually means is 2 times A times B. Just make sure that you understand that, okay? So an example down here is that if you had AB plus 3A, remember what this means is A next to a letter, so A next to B means A times B, plus, and then 3 next to an A means 3 times A. Now in this example, it actually tells you A is negative 1. So this A is a negative 1 multiplied to B, which is a 3, so 3, so B is a 3. I like to write them in brackets just to make it clear what you have, but you don't have to write in brackets. You can actually just write it as negative 1 times 3 if you prefer, plus 3 times now A again, so A is negative 1, so it's negative 1. And then now if we work it out, well, negative 1 times 3 is negative 3, plus 3 times negative 1 is also negative 3. And then from your previous lesson, negative 3 plus a negative 3 is the same thing as saying negative 3 minus 3, which gives you negative 6. So just be careful with that one. This step here, a lot of students make a mistake. Use a number line if it helps, okay? Next one, let's go with A minus B. So A is negative 1 minus B, which is 3, times, and this one is just a negative 2, okay? And so with BODMAS, we would do the brackets first. In the brackets, negative 1 minus 3, look at the number line. So negative 1, and you're going further left by an extra 3, that gives you negative 4 times negative 2. Now we're back to exercise 1G, where you're multiplying negative numbers. 4 times 2 is 8, and double negatives we know is a positive, so it's a positive 8 there, okay? And then if you move on to the next one, same idea. Remember, A is negative 1. Next to a B means times, so times 3, minus B, which is 3, times A, which is negative 1. So according to BODMAS, remember you do multiplications first. So you need to do these two first before you do any addition, subtraction. So let's work it out. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3, minus 3 times negative 1 is also negative 3. And hopefully you remember that minusing a negative, minusing means go to the left, and then negative means opposite of that. So really you're going to the right. So if you're going to the right, it's the same thing as saying plus. So you've got negative 3 plus 3. Okay, this is exercise 1F. This is where a lot of students tend to make a mistake. And then negative 3 plus 3 is 0 if you look at the number line. Move on to the last example here. So A cubed times B squared. So A cubed just means A times A times A. And then you're multiplying it with B squared, which means B times B. So here, what's A? A is negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 times B, which is 3 times 3. And remember I said that with BODMAS, multiplication and division, you work from left to right. So let's work from left to right. We go from this side here, negative 1 times negative 1. Let's do it individually. So negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Okay, because double negative is positive. And then positive 1 times a negative 1. Okay, and then you still have times 3 times 3. Yeah? Negative 1 times, 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. And then you still have the times, you still have a 3, you still have a times 3, and you can see the pattern here. As I keep going, negative 1 times 3 is negative 3, and don't forget you're still timesing 3. And then again, your last step, negative 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, negative and a positive gives you a negative, so the answer is negative 9.